Hey guys, would you like to grow these blue doll hybrid pumpkins? They are easy, classy, and last quite a long time. So let's get started. Hi guys, today is June 28th and we're just out here checking and filming the progress of our blue doll hybrid pumpkin. And this year I ordered from JUNG SEED. And there it is. Here we go. Looks pretty good. Not quite as big. This really isn't that big yet either. This is the one where this grass back here is so compacted and so dense. The seed just kept floating up every time I tried to plant it. So these are behind. Today is July 14th. We are looking at definitely the biggest plant that I have. And let's look at the height of this. Hi guys, today is July 19th. A bit of flowers. Nice little nodules happening here. Pretty long tendrils on this thing. And here's my hand. And that is probably about 2 hand lengths full. Not full, lengthwise. Look at that. Look how that starts. It's so beautiful and delicate there. Here's this tendril. Lovely little curly Q here. Yep. Groundhogs. Freaking groundhogs. Decided we were done here, I guess, with it. Also decided we're done here. Mowed down my watermelon over here. Not pleased at all. Who would be? That looks really pretty until you realize they chewed that off and they have left that open and susceptible to water, to insects, to me being totally irritated with that. Today is July 28th. Shade garden. Oh, look. Ooh, yay. And they want to keep coming up and getting into my siding. So I have to keep pulling them down. Shade, part full sun. And I've got another one. Where did it go? Right here. Right here. That's encouraging. And that was starting to come out and landing like right here. That's way too close to my tomatoes. I need to be able to water these. It would have rotted out this pumpkin if I just would have left it where it was at. So I had to pick it up and reroute it a little bit. And this has grown quite a lot. You can see it's starting to tip up over here. It wants to kind of reach up. It wants to kind of climb here. But look at what all of the groundhogs have done. Yeah, here you go. But I've thoroughly peppered all of this up. I don't see any at all starts of pumpkin back here at all. Could just be hidden. And we've got lots of pollinators around here too, because these wildflowers are doing their job quite nicely. What I did to have this stick was I just sprinkled water on the leaves. I let it dry a little bit and I just come out and I shook everything. And I shook things along mainly the perimeter, because if they smell it or eat it, which seems to be their pattern of eating along the perimeter, then I assumed they weren't going to get back in here. Probably need to powder this up. And here's a nice little nodule up here. Let's see if it will create anything later. See that dead center? It's right next to some flowers. Maybe something will pollinate it. And since the groundhogs ate just about all of my watermelon in there, maybe I could use this trellis. You can see it's got really strong tendrils here. Let's see the height. Look at the height of how tall that has reached up there. And I just pulled some of this out of here to get it off of these plants because my potatoes are down here in this green bag. Today is the 9th of August, but I've made a little discovery that I was ridiculously pleased about, and that would be a pumpkin that made it through the beginning stages. Before I was just getting little teensy tiny balls, and then they would turn yellow and fall off. Still got a lot of pollinators out here. I've been having to put pepper on these to keep the groundhogs away. Daniel, he's out here playing. That's Daniel Boone the cat. So here I've got pepper. If I don't want these tips eaten off, I need to come out and repepper the new growth. And you can see where they've gotten this here. But it's really kind of helped out without them getting a whole lot of stuff. I bet it's attached. Oh yes, it is very much attached. I'm telling you, these are very aggressive growers, pullers, attachers. Not at all like the melons that you have to help out. I mean, just look at all of these tendrils here. And I don't think they're too tender, even though we're gonna call them tendrils. So I can water right at the root. So I normally have to come around here. Look at that, that's beautiful. These wildflowers, so is this one. I hadn't seen these yet today. Here's one more. They're gorgeous. These are starting to go to seed. You can see that right there. But there's the original root there. It almost looks like a variety of zucchini the way that is. It's got that striation in there. This is the first one that I noticed that I have a pumpkin out here. And look, you can see there's just a pollinator in that little bloom right there. Here we go. Yay! Isn't it beautiful? Gorgeous. And I just nicked it with my fingernail. I didn't realize how tender that was going to be. When these first come out, these, like on day, I don't know, this was probably maybe 5 days ago, this was so flat. It kind of looked like when you make candy apples or caramel apples and you set them down and they have that flat spot. That's how flat those pumpkins looked to me. Here is the last spot I have it at. You can see it's not really that sunny here. Hello. Oh my God, this one might make it. It looks bigger than when you get these little balls and then they just, oh, that's very fuzzy there. When they just fall off, they'll turn yellow and they'll fall off. It's a beautiful bloom though, isn't it? See right here? That will turn yellow and then fall off if it's not pollinated. Or if it gets rustled off. 2 leaves, even, symmetrical. Here's the original stem and root here. Ooh, hello, look at this. Starting another one right here too. See that? Dead in the center. There's another one. So that is outstanding. Blue Dow hybrid is at. And here is the biggest one that I've got. And I have pre-laid a ruler on there so you have a concept of how big this is. Here is the last and final spot I have these at. This is really the more part shade area. And this is the 3rd oldest one. which is way bigger than the one back in the garden. Look at this pollinator in here. Still loving that. Oh, here's where I seen it, but it has not taken. It is going to die off to get pollinated correctly. Let's see, is this just, yeah, there's nothing underneath there. August 27th, lots of pollinators out here. They absolutely love it out here. And you can tell because out here I have way more of these pumpkins than any place else. But you can see I have a pumpkin here. One is starting right there in the middle. And there's one there as well. Here's another little one. And that is peppered up so that the groundhogs won't get it. And perfect timing. Perfect timing, bee. They really enjoy them. There's another one over there that started. See, oh, there you go. There's the other one. There's another one right here. And see from the side. I did move this vine, which had roots coming out when I moved it, because it was wanting to root out here, but I need to try and mow as much of this grass as possible, so I redirected it. And I'm just going to leave these the way that they are. I'm not going to re-pepper these, not the tips. Anything from the blooms back, I will. But I'm going to let the groundhogs have the tips. It's almost September. There are enough here for this energy of this plant to focus on what has already developed, and I'll just leave it like that. Here we go. Why people use pumpkins, squash, to, here's another one. Isn't that gorgeous? To their first year of their hugelkultur mounds. I understand. Oh, look at this. Here's one upright. This side over here, I'm not really seeing a lot, but there are a lot of pollinator activity. I don't know if this just has to do with the sun, if I just haven't spotted them yet, which is probably the case because I'm not really rustling around in here a lot, because when you have this stuff peppered up, you don't want to shake the pepper off. It is to detour the groundhogs. And I'm just doing the edges around. I'm not getting in here. I don't need to get in here. If you do the edges, it should prevent them from getting in the middle. But this pepper is very much a short-term solution to really a pretty long-term problem that we've had here on the property. So now let's come up here, and these are Jacoby little pumpkins. We'll skip those, but they are going well too. They're pretty cute. Pretty cute. Oh, she's cute too. There's Simone. So let's just look at our other ones. I only see one out here. And it seems like it hasn't grown in a while. Almost like it's stunted. It is peppered. It's pretty hard. You can see it has that flat bottom. Last one. I think this is the only one out here. So let's see, because I see a bloom here as well. Nope, but it is about to have a baby on it. Here, hang on. There we go. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Look at that flat bottom. Hi guys, it is September 10th. I'm in zone 5. And I was out here with our pumpkins. And unfortunately this one snapped off. But let's give her you can see from the back, that is where it was sitting on the ground. The stem is not ready. It takes about 100 days for these, so it's just not ready yet. And the pumpkin's telling you it's not ready because that stem is not brown. These are supposed to be a green-blue, kind of a grayish cast. They are very smooth already, and this thing was pretty heavy. There's where the blossom was, right there. I am gonna take the, and you can see, this is where I was kind of wrestling with it a little bit to get these underneath it, because since it's sitting on grass, I didn't want the bottoms of these to rust out. So the one that you just seen, I was able to get this one off the ground, and this one here off of the ground. This one in the middle is sitting on the wood plank, so that should be pretty good. Here's another bee. They do not stop producing these gorgeous blooms. Seems like forever. Now, when they're suspended, you can kind of see there's some dampness in there. I moved to put this underneath here, and the water came off of here, but it was like a little pool. You can see there how the water is definitely going to collect there. You can see that the tendrils are up here on this rusty tomato cage. This used to be the green machine zucchini. Yeah, that didn't get a fair shake at all, so I'll have to try that one again. It was totally encompassed by these pumpkins. So far, so good. They are prolific, and they are very abrasive. My hands. See, this is all kind of tore up here. I probably should be using gloves with long pants. I feel like if I would have put these pumpkins down here, they probably would have done a better job, maybe sprawled out, because right now it's sunny, but till about noon it's kind of shady here. And this was one of the first pumpkins that came up for me, and it's starting to get that color to it. And it definitely has the flat bottom as it's supposed to, but it really didn't grow that much. This one seems to be a little bit stunted. And the bottom of this was white too. That's why I wanted to get them off of the ground. This one is it's on the concrete, and it's on that vine down there. So it has some airflow. I feel good, and I positioned this early on for this kind of be cockeyed on this concrete. So we should be doing good here. The color of this one, really, it looks more whited out than anything, almost like it got bleached. There he is, digging in my carrots. Bad little boy. Hi guys, today is October 20th, and I wanted to give you an update on the pumpkins and the fact that they keep going, keep developing new ones. And there was another one over here. Right here's another new one. And you can see the old is dying off. It's got that powdery mildew, that old dying look to it. I got no pumpkins at all on this side. I don't really know why. So I did chop off those leaves and mow. You can see where I've just mowed the edge here, because really I need to pick these. I'm not going to do that on camera. That would be foolish. But you can see how the handles or the stems get this variegated look to them. And you can see just how big and thick that is. You're going to need to use shears to take that off. This one's upside down, clearly. And here's a beautiful green. That one that grew in this, you see it's taking down the cage where I had the green machine zucchini at, which didn't get a real fair shake. And this looks the same as the stem over there that we'll look at in just a minute. See that? Those are doing sensational. The beginning stalk. Oh my God, look at this bad mamma right here. Look at how huge that, okay, here's my hand. Here's how big that root is. So all of that was in this garden portion out here came from one plant. There's no other, it was it. That was one plant. Produced all of this. Absolutely amazing to me. Yeah, you can see on the sides how these get pretty scuffed up here. So these, yeah, this actually is a ridge here. All right, so that's 3, 4, 5, and a green one. So let's say that there's 4 grown ones out here. I gave one away. Now let's go up front. First, I looked up some stuff here. Little notes let's go over. So this is a hybrid. It's a first year, which means it's probably not going to look the same way when you harvest these seeds. You can see that they're flattened. Yeah, you can see by this one right here. It has that real flattened look to it. It has deep ribs. You can see that right here. And those lines. They're supposed to be sweet. A deep orange flesh. I'm not busting these open at all. I'm using these for decorations. I might have mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of pumpkin at all. So the only reason I would bust these open would be to get the seeds. Okay, now in one magazine they describe this as a green, blue, grayish look. I've also read that they've called this an exotic blue exterior. It takes 100 days. They are prolific, as we've already seen. You can cure them, air cure them, for 10 to 12 days, which these have been out here longer than that. And you do need to cut the dry handles. So right here, they're calling these handles or stems with shears or scissors, whatever you've got. And you can see with the green ones that they don't have quite this striation in here. They're not quite done or ready. But I had those over here and I wanted to completely clean this up. And they weren't really growing, they were kind of stalled. And then I had the other one up here. This is the shadiest part. This is the pumpkin right here that looks almost white. Sickly is what it looks. It looks like it needs a little bit of vitamin C. And you can see how deeply, I'm gonna sit down for just a minute here. You can see how deeply ribbed this is. And then they have these little indentations where water gets in here. I believe we looked at that before. And this really isn't scuffing to me because it's all on every point of this. I guess maybe we would call these blemishes. Let's look at this one. This is the one that was over here. This was one of the first ones that developed. And I would say this one and this one has really that color I was going for that was in the JUNG SEED catalog. That's where I ordered this year, was JUNG's. So you can find that in that catalog if you're interested in growing these. And I decided to pair it with this because really the colors match. But I'm not going to leave all of them here. This was just sort of a collection point for the moment because I wanted to see if I left the remaining pumpkins out here for about another, I don't know, 20 more days, if the color would deepen in them. And really, it doesn't look that way to me. It looks the same as it did 20 days ago. That looks like, when I look at it from back here, it just looks like powdery mildew to me. It didn't get darker. This is really the full sun area that I have. Remember, it's October, so the sun's starting to go into a low position, but normally this is all bright and sunny out here. I'm thinking about just putting one of those pumpkins in the middle here. Maybe I'll put one of those white plastic containers up here to prop it up and to raise it up. But I think this would look really pretty with the frills. Hey, just out of curiosity, see how these are doing out here. Let me see if I can find a good one to pull. Oh look, we can already see the head of this one. Let's pull this out. They've been really kind of short and stubby this year. Yep, look at that. So to me, that's not even worth cleaning up. I think what I would rather do is use it to accent those pumpkins and flank them up here, and when I am in the living room I can see the side of this. Hi guys, today is November 5th and we have had 2 heavy frosts now, and you can see what I have done with these lovely pumpkins, and you can see that this is still just a little bit frozen here. So nice, good frost we've had. To elevate these pumpkins, I put them here on what was holding them up off of the grass before. Not that I'm worried about the soil below, but I wanted to get some elevation to come up around these carrot tops. And my window's here. I have a beautiful, perfect view this way. I didn't really see the use of kind of putting these 2 in front, even though when you would come up to the door that would be more aesthetically pleasing. However, I'm the one who's here the most in that chair enjoying the view, and I have really enjoyed the view. Here's our other pumpkins over here. And I have to tell you, transporting these, they are very heavy. I kind of messed my knee up a little bit for a couple days afterwards, toting these all over the yard. Now I have to tell you, the ones out here, since it's so shaded, this doesn't pop at all. This up front is very aesthetically pleasing because of all of the other colors around. However, if I had orange, boom, it would pop way more in this little canopy of shade I've got going on. Again, I elevated this just the same. These from the window, since they're this color, we've got a little nick here that wasn't here before, kind of looks like California Wonders. The big green peppers that are in all the grocery stores. You can see here how this is, how the vine twisted. And this is totally closed up. You can see that it's a nice big gully or trench that seems to collect a lot in these. These are the mums we planted last year from Aldi's. See how that collects everything. And look at these mums. Aren't they lovely? Here, that's the end of the bed. How much that just really took over. And let's go ahead and look at this stem again. I'm just amazed at how big that thing is. And this kind of looks like those trees with nuts in it. I'm not even gonna try and pull that out. Hi guys, today is January 19th, and this is how the pumpkins have held up through the holiday seasons. And you can tell we're in quite a bit of decomp here. Very, very cushy. It has been, especially on the outer part of this, it's been frozen and thawed a couple times over here now. And we're starting to get lots of splitting. I've already removed these two that were there, and you can tell just by these puddles that that really has to do with the moisture that was coming out of those pumpkins. And I have put them over here, and I'm going to try a different type of composting. When I fill the other ones, I'm going to then put more leaves, which I have an abundance of over here. Maybe a little bit of that grass that's still back there, tie them up and either put them in the front or the backyard. Also, we've got a lot of mold happening here, and you can tell with this one just how much little gullies that these pumpkins have. They just really send it into this reservoir with the stump. So of course it's going to start breaking down in those areas very quickly. And here you can see the basket, and my carrots of course are no longer any good, but I got lots of enjoyment out of them looking at them through this window, as I stated earlier. But now I'm seeing this, and this kind of has to go. Since we've had kind of a mild winter so far, I decided to come out here and get some of these seeds. And you can see just how easy, I mean, all I have to do is push on this and it's just destroyed. The flesh in it is beautiful. That gorgeous, rich cantaloupe color. You can see how good these seeds look. And I've got some over here I'm gonna take in, and I'm gonna clean all that up. I don't really feel the need to get it all, but I'll probably do some more scooping because I don't want to have to come back later and start pulling out pumpkin starts all over the place from the squirrels and the birds getting in here and tossing it off the side. I don't want to have to do that. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you would please like, comment, and subscribe, that would be awfully sweet of you. Costs you nothing, but means everything to content creators.